Hello everybody. Hello, good morning, okay, good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock and it is a weekday. So you know what time it is, right? Yes, it is time for English grade 8 first additional language. This will be lesson number 21 brought to you by STEM Lockdown Digital School. If you are there, please say hi on the chat. Please say hi on the chat so we see who is part of today's lesson. So I can recognize you. Please say hi on the chat. Hello. So many highs I see on the chat. Thank you guys. Thank you. Yes, welcome to today's lesson. I think I need no introduction. You all know me. So without a waste of time, let's get to the most exciting time of the lesson, which is the lesson itself. Without a waste of time, let's get started. So today's lesson, what would it be all about? So today we will be learning about abbreviations. We will also learn about punctuation. So in today's lesson, the punctuation marks we would be learning about will be the question mark, an exclamation mark, full stop, as well as a comma. So those are the four question marks that which we will be going through in today's lesson. If you remember well, there is one past lesson where we went through and we learned about the full stop as well as the comma, okay? So in today's lesson, we would be learning about these four punctuation marks. Yes. Before we get into today's lesson, let's recap what we did previously. So in the previous lesson, we learned about adverbs. Remember, we said that adverbs are words which describe verbs. We learned that adverbs tell us how a verb is done, how an action is performed, and how something happens, right? And we also learned about the 6 different categories of adverbs. You remember? The adverbs of place, the adverbs of frequency, the adverbs of manner, adverbs of degree, adverbs of time, as well as the adverbs of reason, okay? And we did say the adverbs of place are those adverbs which tells us where something happens. We said adverbs of frequency, they tell us about how often something happens. And we said that adverbs of manner, they tell us how something happens or how they tell us the how about a verb. We said the adverbs of degree, they tell us to what extent something happens. We said that the adverbs of time tells us how, no, it tells us when, okay, it tells us when something happens. And the adverbs of reason, they tell us why something happens. So this is what yesterday's lesson was all about. But in today's lesson, our focus was on the adverbs of place as well as the adverbs of frequency. So if you still have a question on that, you can ask in the chat. The chat is open to ask your questions so that we can clarify that before we go on and continue with the content of today's lesson. Okay, I see there are no questions in the chat about this today's content. So without further ado, let's continue with the lesson for today. So we are going to start with abbreviations. I know you have heard what an abbreviation is, and even if you haven't, it's okay. You are in the right place. So yes, abbreviations, what are those? An abbreviation is a shortened form of a word or phrase, right? A shortened form of a word or a phrase is called an abbreviation. And I see the chat, there is already examples given by Leslie S saying RSA, which, which stands for the Republic of South Africa. Then we have HIV, which stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Then we have Zamakuke also in the chat giving us another example of an abbreviation saying AIDS, which stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. And there are a lot of abbreviations, okay? There is more and more and more abbreviations. And in today's lesson, we will be going through several of those examples. The series shares another example, MR for Mr., MRS for Mrs., okay? And the series, you should also be careful about the way you write them because the way we write Mr. is capital M and a small letter R and a full stop, okay? And the same with Mrs. is capital letter M and small letter R and small letter S and full stop at the end, okay? So yes, I will show you in today's lesson about abbreviations, and you will realize that there are different types of abbreviations, but they are all abbreviations, okay? So we will learn about them all in today's lesson. I see there are other examples you are giving in the chat. Mkon says DR for doctor. Thank you so much. Nkanka saying miss. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your participation in today's lesson. It's so good, it's great, it is wonderful. And I thank you all for participating. It is so amazing, it is so awesome when I see you being part of this lesson. And to really be honest with you, this is the best way to approach the lessons, okay? When you participate in the lesson, it makes your interest level to be high. Not only that, but it also makes learning to be more meaningful and more enjoyable to you. And what we are learning, it will become more meaningful to you, and you will be able to appreciate what you are learning. You will be able to also use it. Remember, like I've already said previously, that you can never have a skill of something you do not know. So as you learn this knowledge, then it will become a skill for you and a very valuable skill in your life right now as it is, and also when you continue to develop and grow to become an adult who will be participating in the economy of our beautiful country, South Africa, okay? So that is what today's lesson will be all about. I see there are also some examples in the chat. Lisiri S says USA, we all know that stands for United States of America. John Luke saying PC, which stands for personal computer. Then the NQT says TB, which stands for tuberculosis. And I see somebody says BFF. That is an abbreviation, but it is a slang. And I will show you in this lesson that we discourage the use of such abbreviations which are slangs, and I will show you in today's lesson. Tyrese has a question saying, is there initialism? Yes, there is initialism, and you will see that as we continue with today's lesson. Thank you so much, Tyrese. And yes, the person who says BFF is apologizing, and okay, you are welcome. We forgive you for that, and you have learned so far, and you're still going to continue to learn in our lesson today. Okay, so we have already defined what an abbreviation is. We said an abbreviation is a shortened form of a word or a phrase. Okay, there are many examples of that. I see some in the chat. The CDS saying CEO. We know it stands for Chief Executive Officer. Right, okay. So let us continue. Okay, somebody use my name there. Thank you so much, Nkankra. So anyway, let's continue with the content of today's lesson. Tyrese is getting so ahead of me. Tyrese, we are coming to acronyms, truncated words, and all those that which you have written in the chat. So yes. Right, the different types of abbreviations is where we are on right now. And we are going to start with the easiest ones first, which we know. So the first one would be an acronym. So what is an acronym? An acronym is an abbreviation that uses first letters or some parts of a name. Okay. So here is the one I give an example. If you have an example of an acronym, please write it quickly in the chat and I can also use it in the lesson. Okay. Thank you. So here is the example that I gave. I gave HIV as an example, which stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, so you will realize in my example that HIV, we took the H from human, we took the letter I from immunodeficiency, and we also took the V from the word virus. Okay, so then it becomes, instead of saying human immunodeficiency virus, we say HIV. Are you all together, guys, with that? So that is how an acronym works. It is an abbreviation that uses the first letters of a name. Okay, so you will realize that we have used the first letters for human immunodeficiency virus so that we can write it as HIV, which is an acronym. Right now, I'm looking at the chat. I see Vuisile says NBA. NBA stands for what? Stands for, what that stands for? National Basketball Association. Yes, somewhere there in the USA. All right. So yes, guys. One thing I would like to ask you is, when you write an abbreviation in the chat, please write that abbreviation and also what that abbreviation stands for. Okay, like I did here, I said HIV, and I told you that HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, right. Okay, so yes, please do that, guys. Do that so that the chat can go much more. It can flow much better, and we won't really scratch our heads trying to figure out what the abbreviation you have given means. So Zamakuke in the chat says NYC, which stands for New York City. Thank you so much for that. So I think that is all about the acronyms. Okay. So let's move on to initialism, or what is called alphabetism, right? So with this one, it is a group of letters, each pronounced separately, used as an abbreviation for a name or expression. Okay, so let me read initialism again. I said it is a group of letters, each letter pronounced separately, and they are used as an abbreviation for a name or an expression. There is Tyrese in the chat giving us an example saying SABC, which stands for South African Broadcasting Corporation. Thank you so much, Tyrese. That is correct, and that is a one good example for initialism. You will realize that when we say SABC, we do not pronounce it as SABC. Okay, it is not SABC. It's SABC. So you will realize that every one of those letters we pronounce it separately. So it's SABC, right? So in my example that I gave here, I said TV. What does TV stands for? It stands for television. Right, let me write it there in brackets. TV stands for television, right? And another one that which I gave is CD, which stands for compact disc, right? So these are the examples of initialism. Why? Because these are the group of letters where each letter is pronounced separately and they are used as an abbreviation for a name or an expression. Okay, so here they are. I gave TV as an example and CD also as an example for these. Are we all together? If you have a question so far, if there is a clarification, if you are lost, please use the chat, ask a question, and I will get back to you. We will resolve it, your question, we will answer your question as soon as it appears right here on our chat. Okay, so let's continue. All right, there is a question from Tyrese. Tyrese says, is DIY an initialism? Yes, a DIY is an initialism, Tyrese. It is. Remember, why is it an initialism? Because we said that an initialism is when a group of letters, when each of them is pronounced separately and they're used as an abbreviation for a name or an expression. So remember, DIY is an expression, right? Do it yourself is an expression. Do it yourself is an expression. And one thing to remember about it is that it is not slang. It is not a colloquial speech. It is not slang. It is a common formal English expression. Do it yourself. Okay. So if we write it as an abbreviation, we will write it as DIY. And how do we pronounce it? We do not pronounce it as D, but we pronounce it as DIY. And you will realize that each and every one of those letters, we will be pronouncing it separately by saying DIY. So then that makes DIY to become an initialism. Okay. So we have a question in the chat. Mkon saying, say, what does DNA mean in full? What does DNA mean in full? DNA is a scientific term. I think you will meet it somewhere in grade 10 or 11 when you are learning about cells. And DNA really will be, DNA is also our acronym. So let me write it there as an example to, to show you what it means. So DNA, right? DNA. What does DNA mean? DNA means, okay, I'm not good. DNA means the oxy, right? Is the nucleic acid. Okay, so that is what that is a scientific term. Okay, the oxynucleic acid, no, is the oxyribonucleic. Sorry, is the oxyribonucleic acid. That is what DNA stands for. Okay, so you will learn about it in grade 10 or 11. If you will be taking the sciences, you will learn about DNA, how it is manufactured in your body. But one thing that I think you can know about it for now is that your DNA contains every information about you is contained in your DNA. Okay, so in your DNA there is information about your eye color, your natural eye color, your natural hair color, the color of your skin. Okay, your skin tone, whether you stutter when you speak or not, all those things. That's the information that which is contained in your DNA, your deoxyribonucleic acid. But I won't go deep into that. You will learn about that when the time comes in grade 10 or 11. Or if you can't wait that long, it's okay. You can go to Google DNA, and see what you can learn from that. Wow, so many questions. Another question is saying, say, best friend for, yes, BFF means best friend forever, but you realize that BFF is not formal English, it is slang, it is colloquial speech. So in our lesson, we discourage using such words. I will show you later in the lesson words such as LOL, BTW, those are slang. It is that WhatsApp, SMS language. So it is not formal English language. Okay, so we discourage such use in formal English writing. Okay, so those are the terms you can only use on your social media, but not when you write your work at school. Okay, not when you write those formal papers you submit at school. Those formal papers you will be submitting to CEOs, to companies, to universities. Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. So Leslie is asking why the word abbreviation is such a long word. Thank you, Tyrese, for answering that question. So Tyrese says the term abbreviation is a long word for a short thing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You realize that it is like that. I don't know if you've seen such things in movies, because if I remember well, there is there is one movie, I think it is Ice Age 3. So yeah, there is this character in the movie. He says his name is Buckminster. Okay, so they ask him, who are you? He says, my name is Buck. Okay, Buck, which is short for Buckminster, but long for Bar. Okay, I know that's kind of funny. I kind of found that funny when I watched that movie some time back. Okay, so yes, an abbreviation really is a long word for short. It is a long word which talks about short words, short things. Okay, I hope you're all together. All right, so we have already dealt with the acronym as well as the initialism. Okay, let's move on to other things. Mkon saying DVD, yes, which stands for digital versatile disk. Thank you so much. That is true. That is correct. Let's move on. There's still a bit more to cover in the lesson. So, still on different types of abbreviations, we have clipped. Okay, clipped abbreviations. What are those? This is when we use the middle or the end of a word. Okay, I don't know if you can have other examples for this. So if you can think of an example for clipped abbreviations, please go to the chat and share with us. Okay, all right. So as an example, I wrote phone, and you realize that phone comes from the word telephone. Okay, so we just used the end of the word telephone and we say phone. Okay, so that is a clip abbreviation. And another example is fridge. Okay, you realize that fridge is the middle part of the word refrigerator. Okay, so from the word refrigerator, we take the middle part of it, which becomes fridge. Okay, can you think of any other example as far as this is concerned? Remember, now we are on clip abbreviations. So please give me examples of clip abbreviations. Okay, let me go to the chat and see. Let's go to the chat and see. NQT is asking, sir, does LOL mean laugh out loud? Yes, LOL means laugh out loud, but remember, it is colloquial speech, so we discourage the use of it in your formal writings. Okay, okay. Tyrese is asking, sir, can you say daily instead of delicatessen for clipped abbreviation? Yes, we can say that. No, no, Tyrese, no. Daily does not go through clipped. Remember, with clipped, you only use the maker and the end. So daily will be an example for truncation. Okay, for truncation, daily will become our example. Okay, Tyrese, thank you so much. And I can edit there. I can say, e.g., for example, we can add daily for delicatessen. Right, remember what delicatessen is? Delicatessen are those cold meats you get in, it is that section in the store where there are those cold meats, right? your Viennas, your Poloni, Russian, your Frankfurters, yes, there. So yes, Tyrese, Delhi is an example of truncation. We'll get to that in a moment. So now we are still on clipped, and with clipped abbreviations, we only use the middle or the end of a word, like I've shown with my example for phone and fridge. Okay, thank you so much. And there is another one saying burger for hamburger. Yes, that can also go with example for clip. Thank you so much. Then let's see. We have Cyril M saying cell for cellular phone. That will go with truncation. Okay. Then information for info for information, that also goes with truncation. So remember, guys, truncation only uses you. So with truncation, we use only the first part of the word. Okay, look at my examples. For example, I say sun for Sunday, Feb for February, Delhi for delicatessen. What other examples do we have? Other examples, we have info for information. Okay, so another question in the chat. It says, does it have to be the middle or the end? Yes, if it is the middle or the end, then it is clipped. Okay, a clipped abbreviation if we only use the middle or the end of a word. But if you only use the first part of the word, then it becomes truncation. Okay, so that is the difference. Then Nkanka says deck for December. Yes, that is an example of truncation. Say, is May really a truncation? No, let's say May is not a truncation. Remember, May, 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 May is complete a series, and there is no truncation for it, because remember, when we say May, that is the whole word. Okay, so May is the whole word. Okay, it is not it is not the first part of the word for the month May, because when we say May, we have took all the words which form the word May. Okay, so May is not a truncation. Thank you very much, Leslie. That's a very wonderful question. Okay, so remember, we said info is not a clipped abbreviation. Why? Because info, it is the first part of the word information. Okay, let me write it there so that you can all see it. So info is for information, right? So you will realize that the word info comes from the first part of the word information. Therefore, it is a truncation. All right. Okay. So more examples of truncation. We have mon for Monday. Thank you for that, Nkanka. Tyrese saying add for advert. Thank you so much, Tyrese, for that. Rev for reverend. Thank you so much for that. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for your questions, for your comments, for the examples that which you are giving in the chat. Thank you so much for your participation. Yes. Yes, let's see, as we have Thurs for Thursday. Thank you so much, guys. And remember, yes, so that is how it works. Okay. So yes, then remember, okay, NQT has raised a hand. NQT, let's unmute NQT and see and hear what NQT has to say. NQT, I've just unmuted you. What do you have to say? NQT? Okay, NQT is not saying anything. So please, if you want to say something, the chat is open. You can quickly type there what you want to say. Quickly type in the chat what you want to say. My chat is open so that I can respond to your questions as soon as they appear on the chat. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to the next type of abbreviation, which is a portmanteau. A portmanteau, that is when we combine letters of two words to make a new word. I'll say that again. With a portmanteau, we combine letters of two words to make a new word. Okay, there's my example there. With my example, I said liger. Liger, which is a combination of the word lion and the word tiger. So when we combine them, I combined the first letters of the word lion with the last letters of the word tiger to get a liger. Okay, so we have an example there. We have Tyrese. Tyrese is saying breakfast and lunch becomes brunch. Okay, interesting example. Thank you. And he's saying smoke and fog becomes smog. Okay, so those are the examples of portmanteau. Thank you so much, Tyrese. And let me include them here so everybody can see them. So, Tyrese, thank you so much for that. So, for example, Tyrese says brunch. Okay, so brunch, which is the combination of breakfast and lunch. And another example that which has been given to us is smoke. No, sorry. It's smog, right? What is smog? Smog, which is smoke and fog. Okay, there are many more examples that which I cannot write here, but okay. So there is a portmanteau, guys. That is when you combine two words to make a new word. Okay. So you know a liger, right? A liger is the offspring of a lion and a tiger, right? And the saddest thing about a liger is that when a lion meets with a tiger to make a liger, we cannot have two ligers meeting to make more ligers. Okay, that's something interesting. I just do that show. Say that. Okay, Nkanka gives us another example saying video plus blog, which is a vlog. Yes, that is a portmanteau, especially now in the technological age, you know. Yes, thank you so much for that example. So yes, Nkanka, with a portmanteau, that is when you combine two words to make one new word. Okay, so here are the examples we gave. Liger, which is a combination of a lion and a tiger. Brunch, which is a combination of breakfast and lunch. And you also have smog, which is a combination of smoke and fog. Okay, now we can continue. And yes, we are done with abbreviations, but before I move on to the next section, this is something I would love to discourage. Okay, learners, when you go back to school, when you'll be writing your essays, your letters, your transactional writings, whatever that we should be writing, please remember that we do not use colloquial speech that we should know as slang. We do not use slang, okay? Because remember, slang is usually also made up of abbreviations, the one you use on your social media, such as LOL, which means lots of laughter, or laugh out loud, right? Then another example is BTW, which means by the way. We also have TBH, meaning to be honest. We also have IDK, which means I don't know. Okay. All these abbreviations are for slang and colloquial language. And please, in formal writing, please do not use colloquial speech. Okay. Do not use LOL. Do not use by the BTW. Okay. Just write it in full, by the way. Okay. Just write it in full, to be honest. Okay. All this would, what are you doing? Hood, how are you doing? All these guys, please do not use them in your formal writing. Let them stay in your social media. Okay, let them remain there in your social media. Okay, please guys. Yes, Nkanka says LOL can mean lots of love. Yes, even if it means that, please let it stay in social media. If you want to say lots of love, just write it in full. Lots of love. Okay, so that is also the reason why. Okay, Nkanka says LOL means lots of love. For me, LOL means laugh out loud or lots of laughter. So you see, that is where the confusion comes. Okay, so please do not use it. please do not use it. Let it remain in your social media, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, and all that. Okay. Yes. So I would love to warn you with that. So please, guys, use formal language in your formal writing. Okay. Yes, use formal language. Thank you, Tyrese, for your comment. Tyrese is saying, yes, use formal language because one slang word could mean many words. You are right, Tyrese. We have seen that with LOL. For some, it means lots of laughter. For some, it means laughing out loud. For some, it means lots of love. And we do not know what it may mean for other people. So, to really be safe and to not be misunderstood and misinterpreted, please do not use colloquial speech slangs. All right? Just write in full. Thank you so much. Now we are on to punctuation marks. So remember with punctuation marks, so here is a question mark. Remember a question mark is a punctuation mark that is used at the end of a direct question. I think we all know that by now. And what does it do? A question mark helps us to identify a sentence to be a question, right? Here's my example there. What is your name? Question mark. So that question mark, it shows that this sentence is a question, right? Imagine if I wrote it like that. What is your name? And then I put a full stop. Or is that a question? No, that will not be a question. Okay. Yes. But if I put a question mark there, that question mark will help us to identify that this sentence is actually a question. Are we all together? Thank you. Then, okay, since you know about a question mark, that is all there is about a question mark, so we will not dwell much on it. But if you have a question about the question mark, please, the chat is still open for you to ask. Then then here is a very interesting, then there is a very interesting, then there is a very interesting punctuation mark, which is an exclamation mark, right? So an exclamation mark is a punctuation mark that is used in a sentence that expresses a strong or a forceful emotion, such as anger, surprise, or joy. Okay, so a sentence which expresses these strong emotions, we are going to use an exclamation mark at the end of it. Okay, so for example, get out of here. Okay, so for example, get out of here, then there's an exclamation mark. So you also had even the way that which I said it, that you just can't say to a person, get out of here with you being calm. Okay, you won't be calm when you tell you won't be calm when you tell somebody to get out of here. Okay, it will, chances are when you say to that person, you will be angry. It will be out of anger and frustration that you say to a person, get out of here. Okay, so when we write such things down, we put an exclamation mark. Okay, another example is, I got a perfect score on my English test. Well, what will be the emotion when you say that? You will be happy, right? You will be having joy that, wow, I got a perfect score on my English test. I'm so happy, So you put an exclamation mark there to show the strong emotion of joy because of your performance on that English test. Another example, we can say, how could you forget my money? I mean, that is me being surprised. I mean, who forgets money? Hmm? How can you get out of the house, going to the shop, but you forget money? How's that possible? So then I will be surprised. I'm like, how could you forget my money? Or if then you owe me money, I borrowed you money last week and you had to pay me today, and then you said that you forgot. Okay. How could you forget my money? How could you forget my money? Okay, so you can really hear it in my voice that I'm surprised. Okay. Then there is another example in the chat. Mkon says, wow. Okay, wow is also surprised, like wow. Okay. You'll hear somebody say that, wow. Okay, wow. Okay, Leslie S says another example saying, who forgets money? Like who forgets money? Okay. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you for that example, Lesedi S and Nkanka. Nkanka says, for example, I love pizza. Okay, that shows your joy of how much you love pizza. Then we have Tyrese saying punctuation marks regulate our reading, like traffic lights regulate traffic. Oh, Tyrese, that's so awesome. That's so wonderful. That's so excellent. Yes, Tyrese, they regulate punctuation marks, they regulate our reading, like traffic lights regulate traffic. All right, thank you so much, Tyrese. Thank you so much. That is true. Okay. Ah, you know, like pain is a very strong emotion, so you can't say when maybe you step on a thumbtack, you like you won't say no, you say why because you'll be feeling pain. Okay, and pain is a very strong emotion. Somebody slaps you right now, ouch. Pain is a very strong emotion, so when we show it, when we write down like those expressions or those sentences which express pain, which is a strong emotion, we are going to use an exclamation mark at the end. Okay. Another example, the city says keep quiet. We keep quiet is something we say out of anger. I mean, me as a teacher, that's something I can relate with. That when learners are making noise and I'm with them in class and they make noise, I'll be like, keep quiet, because I'm angry, because I'm frustrated at the noise they're making. Okay. Yes. Tyrese is asking, could you forget my money also be a question? Yes. Could you forget my money can also be a question. So if you say it calmly, how could you forget my money? That could also be a question. Thank you so much, Tyrese. Thank you so much. So that is how exclamation marks work. Okay. All right. So full stop. Remember, we did go through full stop, and I will just pass on through it because it is part of today's lesson. Okay, so with the full stop, remember it is a punctuation mark that indicates the end. Remember, a punctuation mark indicates the end of a sentence, right? And yes, you all know about a punctuation mark. Okay, so yes, Nkanka also asking, do your homework. Is it a command? Do your homework. It is a command. I can say it calmly. Like, okay, Nkanka, it depends on the context. Okay. If I'm calm, like I am right now, I can say, guys, learners, do your homework. Full stop. Okay. But if maybe I'm angry because you guys don't do your homework, I will be saying, do your homework and write an exclamation mark. Okay. Do your homework with exclamation mark at the end, because right now it shows the strong emotion of anger, the strong emotion of frustration that which I have because you guys do not do your homework. Okay. Yes, so full stop. We know about the full stop, that we write the full stop at the end of every sentence, and we also use a full stop for some abbreviations like Mr., Mrs., and Doctor, as we've shown in the previous section when we did abbreviations. And you also know about a comma, that a comma is a punctuation mark that we use to separate words, phrases, or clauses in a list. There's an example there. There are classes for English, comma, mathematics, and natural science. So you've seen that I've used the comma to separate those words there. And you also use a comma to separate nouns or adjectives in a row before a noun. There they are there in the example. Okay. And commas are placed also before quotation marks surrounding the spoken words when writing a direct speech in a sentence. So remember, since we went through full stop and comma in the previous lesson, today I was just going through them because they are related with what we were doing today. So we have homework today. So for homework, question one of our homework is about abbreviations. So on question one, I am asking you to write out the following abbreviations. And if you are listening carefully, you will realize that some of these abbreviations, I used them as an example in today's lesson. Okay, right. So those are the abbreviations, and I'm asking you to write them out in full. What do these abbreviations represent? Okay, there they are: HIV, Mr., SABC, BSc, BSc DR FM, UNISA, CDR, RSA, and etc. Okay, I want you to write what they stand for. That is for question one. For question two is about punctuation marks. So in question two, I am asking you to insert the relevant punctuation marks in the following sentences. So the punctuation marks that we should have to insert there are the ones we went through into this lesson. So it is the exclamation mark, the question mark, full stop, and the comma. So I'm gonna say it again. Exclamation mark, question mark, full stop, and the comma. Those are the relevant punctuation marks that which you have to insert in these 10 sentences. Okay. So please do the homework, and on the next lesson on Monday, we will go through the corrective work. We will make corrections to see where exactly do those punctuation marks go. Okay, and I will explain why they go where they go. All right. Yes. So since this is the end of our lesson, but it is not the end of our conversation, right? So remember, you can still follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Remember to use the hashtag lockdown eSchool. All right. Remember, speak to us, talk to us, your concerns, your compliments, so that we can be better able to help you, So yeah, please help us to help you, okay? I see in the chat, Tyrese saying I can't wait for Monday. Oh, Tyrese, I also can't wait for Monday. But Monday will be here soon. Everybody, you have a wonderful weekend, an amazing weekend, a very enjoyable weekend. Keep well, take care. I love you. And from all of us here at STEM Lockdown Digital School, we love you. Keep well. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday, same time, same place. Goodbye.